Hello everyone, welcome you all to Keralakam CBSE School Madura online classes. So in previous class we discussed second problem of exercise 8.2. So today I will continue with third problem. Exercise 8.2. In third problem, what they have given here? ABCD is a rectangle. They have given that this ABCD is a rectangle. And PQRS are midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD and DA. Here P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of BC and R is the midpoint of CD, like that S is midpoint of AD or DA. Show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. Sorry, we have to prove in third question. Show that quadrilateral PQRS is a rhombus. In previous question, in second question, we proved that this is PQRS is rectangle, but now we have to prove this PQRS is a rhombus. What they have given? This ABCD is a rectangle, and this PQRS are midpoints of AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. So we have to show that PQRS is the rhombus. So here what they have given, ABCD is rectangle and this PQRS are midpoints of AB, BC, CD and DA respectively. This is given. So now here we have to prove what we have to prove here. This PQRS is rhombus. PQRS is rhombus. We have to prove this. So now to prove this construction is, what we will do here, we will join AC and BD, diagonal AC and BD. This is the construction, join AC and BD. So now after this we start with proof. So now I will consider first here in triangle ABC, in triangle ABC, P and Q are midpoints of AB and BC. P and Q are midpoints of AB and BC. So now if you join this PQ by midpoint theorem, by using midpoint theorem. What you can write here? This PQ is parallel to AC. Means this side PQ is parallel to third side AC. PQ is parallel to AC, and this PQ should be half of the AC. This is my midpoint theorem, and in previous class also we solved problems by using midpoint theorem only. So here I will write directly this PQ is parallel to AC and PQ is equal to half of the AC. So now again I will consider these 2 points S and R. So first I will consider this as 1, and now in triangle ACD, you know that this S and R are midpoints of AD and CD. Similarly, in triangle is ADC or ACD, you can write here S and R are midpoints of what are the two sides? AD and CD. So now what we can do? This SR should be parallel to by using midpoint theorem. By using midpoint theorem, what you can write here? This SR should be parallel to AC. SR should be parallel to AC, and this SR is equals to half of the AC. And this I will consider as 2. So now from 1 and 2 what you can write? From 1 and 2. So here you should write that this PQ is also parallel to AC and SR is also parallel to AC. Therefore, these two are also parallel. PQ is parallel to SR, and here PQ is equal to half of the AC. Here SR is also equals to half of the AC. Therefore, you can write PQ is equal to SR. So now what you got to know here, one pair of opposite sides means PQ and SR. One pair of opposite sides are, these two sides are parallel and equal to each other. Therefore, what you can write? PQRS is parallelogram. Therefore, if this PQRS is parallelogram, then again remaining side this QR and PS or SP is also equal and parallel to each other, because we know that in parallelogram always opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. Therefore, we can write PS is parallel to QR, this PS is parallel to QR, and PS is equals to QR. Here I will write PS is parallel to QR and PS equals to QR. Why? We got to know that PQ and SR are parallel and equal to each other. Therefore, if one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other, then we can say that that is parallelogram. If this is parallelogram, the remaining side, this QR and PS, is also parallel and equal to each other. But here, what we have to prove? We have to prove this PQRS is rhombus. We have to prove this PQRS is rhombus. But we prove now this PQRS is parallelogram. But what is the difference between rhombus and parallelogram? The main difference is here in rhombus all the sides sides are equal. But here in parallelogram, only opposite pairs of sides are equal and parallel. The only difference between this parallelogram and rhombus is all the sides are equal in rhombus. So now we have to prove all these sides are equal to each other. So now to prove this, what we will do? We will consider triangle BCD. In triangle BCD, here BCD, Q and R are midpoints of BC and CD. Q and R are midpoints of BC and CD. BC and CD. So by using midpoint theorem, by midpoint theorem, what you can write here? This Q1, Q and R are midpoints of BC and CD, means this QR should be parallel to BD and this QR is also half of the BD by midpoint theorem. So here I will write QR equal QR is parallel to BD and this QR should be equal to half of the BD. Now I will consider this as 3 and I will consider this as 4. So now next step I will write it here in the place of given to prove and construction. So now the diagonals of rectangle are equal. We know that this ABCD is rectangle. They have given ABCD is rectangle and we know that diagonals of rectangle are equal. So here diagonal AC and BD are equal because ABCD is rectangle, therefore you can write AC is equals to BD. So now I will consider this as 5. These two sides are equal, BD and AC are equal because diagonals are equal in rectangle. So now what we got to know? So here this first we prove this is a parallelogram. So PQ is equals to SR and QR equals to PS. Opposite sides are equal, but we have to prove all the sides are equal. So to prove this, what we did? We consider triangle BCD. So here what we prove, this QR is equals to half of the BD. Here we prove QR is equals to half of the BD. So if this QR is half of the BD, like this only, here this PQ is equals to half of the AC. Here PQ is equals to half of the AC and SR is equal to half of the AC. Where you got here SR is equal to half of the AC. Like that only this QR is half of the BD and these two are equal, BD and AC are equal. Means what we got to know here, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can write that this QR is also equals to PQ and SR. So now you can write from this, we got to know that PQ equals to QR equals to SR is equals to PS or SP. All the sides are equal. How? Listen carefully again. Here, this PQ is half of the AC. Here we got in first one. In second one, what we got to know? This SR is half of the AC. Okay, and if these two are half of the AC, this is PQ is equals to SR, and this is parallelogram. And again, we proved by considering triangle BCD, this QR is half of the BD, and we know that these two BD and AC are equal because these two are diagonals of rectangle. AC is equal to BD, means this QR is half of the BD. So here what we got to know, this QR is equal to half of the BD, which is equal to AC only, and PQ is also equals to half of the AC. SR is equal to half of the AC. Therefore, by from 1 to 5, we can write that all the sides are equal. So if all the sides are equal, we can write that therefore PQRS is rhombus. So to prove this PQRS as rhombus, what we did first, we proved this PQRS is parallelogram, and if this is parallelogram, here opposite sides are equal to each other, means these two sides are equal and these two sides are equal. Here we got to know. After this, to prove all the sides are equal, means we know that in rhombus all the sides are equal. To prove that, what we did, we considered triangle BCD. Here this QR is Q and R are midpoints of these two sides. Therefore, this QR is half of the BD, and this BD is equals to AC. Where this PQ is also equals to half of the AC only, and SR is equals to half of the AC only. Therefore, by from 1 to 5, what we got to know, here all the sides are equal. Therefore, PQRS is rhombus. I hope you all are clear with this problem. So now I will continue with fourth problem. So this is the diagram we have given for fourth problem. What do we given here? ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. This AB is parallel to DC, and write given. What is given? ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC. This AB is parallel to DC. BD is the diagonal. Yes, BD is the diagonal, and E is the midpoint of AB. And E is midpoint of AD. This E is midpoint of AD. A line is drawn through point E. A line is drawn through point E parallel to AB. Parallel to AB, one line is drawn. Intersecting BC, intersecting this line BC at point F. So we have to do that this F is midpoint of BC. What we have to do? F is midpoint of BC. So now, to prove this, first I will consider triangle ABD. Triangle ABD, EF is parallel to AB. This EF is parallel to AB. They have given that EF is parallel to AB. These two are parallel, and E is midpoint of AD. And E is midpoint of AD. So now you can write that, therefore I will consider this point as G. Therefore, what we can write here, G is the midpoint of BD. G is midpoint of BD. Why? This E is midpoint of AD, they have given that. So, and this EF is drawn parallel to AB, means this point G on BD is midpoint of BD by converse of midpoint theorem. So now again we know that this EF is parallel to AB, and EF is parallel to AB, and again this EF is parallel to CD. EF is parallel to CD. So now we know that this EF is parallel to AB, and sorry, here this AB is parallel to CD. They have given that EF is parallel to AB, and they have given that this AB is parallel to CD. Therefore, we can write that by this. We can write, therefore this is parallel to AB and AB is parallel to CD, means we can write that this EF is also parallel to CD. EF is parallel to CD. Why? One line parallel to another line means this line is also parallel to CD. Therefore, this EF is parallel to CD. So now, in triangle BCD, here in triangle BCD, what we know? GF is parallel to CD. This GF is parallel to CD, and G is the midpoint. G is the midpoint of BD. So here, now I will consider in triangle BCD. This GF is parallel to CD. GF is parallel to CD, and G is midpoint of BD. So now again by converse of midpoint theorem, here we should write by converse of midpoint theorem. What we got to know? This F is midpoint of BC. Why? Here in triangle BCD, GF is parallel to CD. Why GF is parallel to CD? Here we proved EF is parallel to CD, means this GF is part of EF only. Therefore, this GF is parallel to CD, and G is the midpoint of BD, means this F should be midpoint of BC by converse of midpoint theorem. Therefore, you should write F is midpoint of BC. So listen carefully again. ABCD is trapezium, where AB is parallel to CD. We have to, and this E is midpoint of AD, and a line is drawn parallel to AB, and we have to prove that this F is midpoint of BC. So now to prove this, first we will consider this triangle ABD, means this triangle. We will consider this triangle where E is the midpoint of AD and the line EF is drawn parallel to AB. Means we can consider this point G is midpoint of side BD by converse of midpoint theorem. So G is the midpoint of BD. We got to know, and we know that this EF is parallel to AB. Why? This EF is drawn parallel to AB only, and they have given that AB is parallel to CD. So now we can say that this EF is also parallel to CD. Here I have written this EF is also parallel to CD. Means this GF is part of EF. So GF is parallel to CD. Here I have written in triangle BCD. This GF is parallel to CD, and we know that this G is midpoint of BD. So by converse of midpoint theorem, converse of midpoint theorem means this is the midpoint and this is the parallel line to BC. Therefore, this should be midpoint to the third side. Means this F is midpoint of third side BC. Okay. So I hope you all are clear with these two problems. In next class, I will continue with further problems of exercise 8.2. Thank you all.